Hey there, my name is Jimmy Mahalik, and in today's video, we're going to go over, do you need an LLC for your Amazon FBA business, or really for any business for that matter? Do you need an LLC? And I'm going to go over the advantages to having an LLC, the couple disadvantages to have an LLC, how to save money when setting up an LLC, and finally, my personal opinion on if you need an LLC at the beginning, should you or should you not do it? So the three main advantages to an LLC. Number one is LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation. And that is exactly what it does. It limits your liability and it protects your assets. So if your company does something wrong or gets sued for any reason, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen that lawsuits do happen. An LLC will limit your liability and it limits your personal liability. So if somebody were to sue you for whatever reason, they have to sue your company and go after the company's assets. They can't really go after your home or your personal savings, your IRA, your family, and stuff like that. It's an LLC and it's a corporation and it protects you from that. Number two, an LLC provides you with what's called flow through taxation, which really means that the company flows through the profits to you and you pay the taxes on them and not the company paying taxes on them and you paying taxes on them. So it prevents double taxation. The company, the corporation doesn't actually pay taxes, it flows through to you. So you get a big, huge tax saving by using that. And number three, by being set up as a legitimate business, it makes it so it's possible for you to get business loans in the future if you go and apply for them. See, if you're just running as a sole proprietor without an LLC, without a corporation, it's really harder to file for business loans. And a lot of businesses that end up doing really well will sometimes file for business loans so they can grow their company faster and pay somewhat low interest rates on the money. So for example, if you get a business loan and you're paying maybe 6 to 8% interest, but your Amazon FBA business is giving you 100% ROI, and you can take that money, invest it, and get 100% ROI, but pay 6 to 8% interest, a lot of people would choose to do that if they need the money. So those are advantages to an LLC. The only real disadvantage to an LLC is money. And I'm going to show you how to save some money here in just a minute. So when money comes into play is most of the states have a one-time filing fee to set up your corporation, okay? And most of the time that's between $50 and $200. I'm going to show you that here in a second, but it varies by state. And I recommend that you file for an LLC in your state that you live in. It used to be that if you wanted to be an Amazon seller, you would set up a corporation in like Wyoming because it had a couple advantages to file an LLC in there. But now I really recommend that you file in your own specific state where you live. And especially because Amazon is going to go through a verification process where you're going to need to provide documents of where you live and who you are and your driver's license or passport and stuff like that. So that is another reason why you'd want to file an LLC in your state. Now, if you live in California, you have a big disadvantage because California likes to tax the ever-loving everything out of their people that live in their state. So California charges $800 per year if you have an LLC or corporation in their state. So they like to tax their people a lot. So that would be one disadvantage, especially if you live in California because you're going to have those high fees. Okay, if you live in one of the other states and it only costs you $50 to $200, then that's a different story. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly is you don't really need an LLC to write off business expenses. If you have a 1099 business, a business where they pay you 1099, such as Amazon FBA, you can still write off all your business expenses as long as they're legitimate business expenses, such as software you use or Amazon fees, or if you rent a place of business, or even if you rent a place in your home, rent a place in your home, you can write that off as a tax expense. You don't really need an LLC to do that. You just need to be a 1099 independent contractor and know how to do it. That's a big misconception, so keep that in mind and that'll help you out. So, how do you set up an LLC? There's three main ways to do it. Number one is to have a lawyer do it for you. So, years ago, I've been an internet entrepreneur for 20 years and I've had many, many companies throughout the years. And really, company is just a way that you're doing business and, collecting money and all that good stuff. It's just, it's a corporation name, okay? So, back in the day, I had lawyers set up my company and they were, years ago, maybe $500. They're probably more like 1,000 nowadays if you have a lawyer do it. So that is, if you don't want to go through the hassle to even worry about anything at all, you can just pay a lawyer to do it and have it done and know that it's done professionally. But it's the most expensive option. Okay, the second way to set up an LLC is by using a company like LegalZoom.com or InkFile.com, where they will actually go and set up the company for you. It's kind of like in between having a lawyer do it and doing it yourself, is using one of these online websites to kind of help you through the process. So inkfile.com, I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. But as you can see, it's going to vary by the state. So you choose your state here and the fee is going to vary. So the filing fee for California apparently is $75. I'm not in California, but there is that yearly fee of $800. I do know they have that. And it's just going to vary state by state. So if we go to New York here, the state filing fee is $205. And that's really just going to vary, based on your state. So the Texas state filing fee is $300, and there's no way to get around that, okay? So InkFile has a couple of these different packages here. They got this free package here. They have this middle of the road package for $150, and you can choose one of these packages if you want some help doing it and you kind of don't want to pay for a lawyer, but this is kind of like the middle route to go. And the third and final way to set up an LLC is just to do it yourself online. So for example, if you're from New York, you can just Google set up an LLC in New York and go to the actual state website and start by looking at the form you need to fill out. A lot of states have only a 1 or 2 page form with mostly basic information like what is your name, where do you live, what you want the name of the company to be, etc., etc. I do recommend, if you're going to go this route, to do at least 1 day of research on YouTube or Google, just to kind of know what you're doing. Okay, if it's only a 1 or 2 page form to fill out, you can save all the other fees. The only fee you'll have to pay is the state filing fee, and you can set up an LLC for as low as $50 or $100, up to $300, depending on what your state filing fee is. There's no way to get out of the state filing fee. So I do think this is something you can do on your own. I do it now on my own when I set up new corporations, and you just need to somewhat know what you're doing. This is one area of expertise that if you do a little bit of research, you can probably do it yourself, since it's only a 1 or 2 page form that you're filling out. The next step you'll need to do is you'll need to get what is called an EIN, Employer Identification Number, from the IRS's website, which is irs.gov. I recommend you just go to Google and type in get an EIN number from the IRS, and you'll come to this page where you pretty much, again, you're just going to fill out a 1 or 2 page form that is basically just saying what your company name is, what your name is, what your address is, or the address of the company, and they're going to give you an EIN number. So when you're here on this webpage, you're going to click Apply Now, and that is going to take you here to this next page. And you're going to read this and begin application. And you'll come here to this next page where you will select Limited Liability Corporation and continue to go through the steps. An EIN number is like a social security number for your corporation. It's basically your tax ID number. So instead of taxing you, when you're getting income from Amazon, the 1099 is going to go to your corporation instead of you personally, even though it will flow through personally to you in the end. Another small disadvantage is you will need to file a tax return for the LLC. Again, the income will flow to you personally, but you will need to file a tax return, and that will cost you a little bit of money or a little bit of time if you do it yourself. So, do I think that you should get an LLC for your corporation or for your business that you're starting up or for your Amazon FBA business that you're starting up or currently already running? And my answer to you would be yes. I like to do things the right way, the best way, I guess I would say. You can do it either way as a sole proprietor, sole proprietorship, or as an LLC, but I prefer to have an LLC because it gives you the extra protection, you get the added benefits, and the only disadvantage is the little bit of money that you have to pay to file the corporation. So if the money's not an issue, then for sure you would want to get an LLC. If you're super tight on money, well, then you kind of really need to think about if going into business is the right thing for you. Because if you're super broke, you might not want to start a business because all businesses cost money. They cost startup money. Even an Amazon business, which really has like the lowest startup costs of pretty much any business that I've ever started, you're still going to need some startup money. And if a couple $100 for filing an LLC is really going to break the bank, then you might want to consider not starting a business. If you have any questions about setting an LLC up or anything, or if you think it's a good idea to, leave a comment down below. So with that being said, if you can do it yourself, take a day to research setting up a corporation in your state. And this way you can do it yourself and save yourself that lawyer fee or that other filing fee by a website. You could save yourself a couple $100s. And then you can use that money for something like professional Amazon training through my Amazon FBA program, or professional pitchers, which is, that type of money will make a huge difference in your business, where like spending the money on LegalZoom won't really make a difference in your business. So make sure you click the subscribe button down below and click the bell icon that pops up after you've subscribed. Subscribing is free to this YouTube channel, and the bell icon makes it so that you'll be notified when I post new videos so you won't miss out. And make sure you like this and leave a comment down below so you can show the YouTube algorithm that you like this video, and it'll help show my video to other people. Over here, I'll list an Amazon FBA playlist where you can learn more about an Amazon business. And over here is my Amazon FBA free training. Make sure you take that if you haven't yet. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.